Hi everybody, Jordan O'Connor here. I wanted to introduce Lola. A couple people had been asking me what's with the bird, and so I thought I would do a little quick video to introduce Lola and how she came into my world. About 6 or 8 weeks ago now, I was in a meditation and asking for specific guidance on next steps for myself, for my business, for a relationship, and what I was creating in my world. And after a very deep meditation, I was able to connect in and hear clearly that I would be seeing validation via a white peacock. And I thought that was extremely odd to hear, and I didn't really see the relevance at the time, but I was delighted to have some guidance. So later that day, I was scrolling through Instagram, and on some feed, whether it was National Geographic or something similar, I saw a white peacock, and the peacock was just prancing around, full feathers spread, just in its complete divinity, just owning its space, and it was just majestic to see. And I had that reassurance, my heart was beating, just letting me know that I'm not alone, and that my longings, my prayers, my desires are being answered one tiny moment at a time. So I was able to go through the rest of my day with just a nice level of peace and reassurance without needing to know what it was going to look like or what specifically the answers were. And then later on that day, I went into a store, and on the shelf was Lola. She was sitting there all by herself, the one and only, just staring at me at eye level, and absolutely had to come home with me. My heart was just racing in my chest, and I found my eyes just watering with tears because I had no idea how this manifestation could have happened so clearly. And it wasn't, again, like a shell full of her. She was the only one. And so I just held her in my arms and carried her through the store, and I thought to myself, well, this is my sign that I'm on track, and to keep listening and to keep going deeper inside of myself so I can hear where my answers are. So she taught me a few things from this experiment, and the first is, again, just allowing to trust yourself with the quickening of your heart. So for myself, it's very different than an experience of anxiety. Anxiety, I feel palpitations, or my breath is a bit shallow, or something feels a little funny, or a circumstance or people that I'm around, something's making me uncomfortable. This was a very different quickening of the heart. It was a yes. It felt like a yes. It felt like relief. It felt like reassurance. So trusting that quickening in your heart that's guiding you in the right direction at all times. The second thing was to practice the muscle, and it is indeed a muscle, of surrendering into divine and perfect timing. As much as the mind wants to tell us what we should and shouldn't be doing, it gives us fears and doubts. It tries to guide us in all kinds of directions, and some of them just really aren't where we're supposed to be because we're trying to control the situation and the outcome and get to some place of an arrival where we're not meant to do that yet. So the mind has a different agenda, and if we can actually relax back into the heart space and following that quickening of heart with patience, with reverence, with expectation, with joy, then our lives begin to even out. We're not always in a place of the mental panic, the mental control, trying to force ourselves through life. It's a way quieter, more meaningful place to live from. But again, it takes a lot of courage to get there, because you have to be able to learn to trust. Even though your mental mind is freaking out, your nervous system is in a panic because you're looking at things like your relationships or your bank account or whatever opportunities you are or are not getting presented in your life, but the mind needs to know. So being able to separate yourself from the mind and get into a deeper, quieter place and surrender into the divine and perfect timing, because you don't know what your higher self is already constructing for you and has in advance for you and wants for you and is drawing you towards. So if you can get more comfortable with the uncomfortable, you can learn to surrender into divine and perfect timing. And the third lesson from Lola today is to stay in the vibration of awe and magic and wonder. And what I mean by that is the real life magic that's around us every single day. When we are in a high vibratory state of joy, of peace, of harmony, of bliss, of desire, then we're magnetizing circumstances and people and conversations around us that is more in alignment to what we really want. So staying in that place of openness, of willingness, of curiosity and awe puts us in a better vibratory state to create our reality in an easier way. So those were the main 3 tips from Lola today. I'd love to hear what you think. If you have your own versions of different power animals or different animals that have shown up in your path along the way. Yeah, so Lola's my best friend supporting me in the meantime. So thanks for meeting my beautiful peacock. Have a great day.